The intermediate certificate is made up of 6 units, which I will go through one by one, explaining briefly what's involved in the unit and hopefully also giving you an outline of what's involved in terms of the assessment for each one. As discussed in the main presentation, the intermediate programme consists of all continuous assessments, so you would get the assessment directly from us and we would mark it. Okay, so developing professional practice. CIPD has a set of professional standards that they hold all their members to. Obviously, that's what gives us associate membership, chartered membership, etc. So, developing professional practice, you're looking at what these professional standards are, and at the level that you're operating, that you're working at, looking to see what should you be doing. Are you working at that level? Are there areas where you need to develop? So you would be writing a written report. It's about 2,600 words on the professional standards and what it means to be an HR professional. But in addition, you would also be producing a CPD plan of having identified areas where you need to develop. You would produce a plan that says, here's what I need to do and here's how I'm going to achieve it, and timescales. And at the end of the year or throughout the year, you should be keeping a record of the learning that you're undertaking, the development that's occurring, so that by the end of the year you have a record of your learning across the full year. Business issues in the context of HR is looking at your organisation, carrying out a SWOT analysis, carrying out what we call a steeple analysis. So you're looking at what's going on within your organisation, understanding how different departments work, understanding how they all come together to help the company achieve its objectives, whatever goals it's working towards, and looking at HR's role in helping the company to achieve that, and perhaps also helping other departments to achieve their goals so that they're all supported and everybody's working together. But what you also do is you look at the external environment. So you're looking at what's happening outside of the organisation. So what's happening in the local community, what's happening in society, what are the political pressures that the organisation is facing, what are the economic pressures as well. So obviously we're all greatly affected by coronavirus at the moment, so understanding what that means for your organisation, how you're dealing with it, how you're responding to it, what threats it's posing. So you're looking at all of these things that are happening outside of your organisation and thinking, how does that impact on your company? And again, within HR, how do you go about helping them to respond to that and make sure that the organisation is able to continue functioning? Using information in HR is a report. It's about 2,600 words, but you're picking the topic for yourself. It's like a mini dissertation. So you pick a topic, can be anything HR related. Usually I would recommend that you pick something that is perhaps an issue in your workplace or something that you're exploring already. So you could be looking into absence, or employee engagement is quite popular at the moment, or another thing that's quite popular at the moment with students is something round about mental health in the workplace or well-being. So you can look at these sorts of things, look at the research, see what it's suggesting in terms of maybe what other companies are doing, and then you write a report putting forward some suggestions, some recommendations as to how your company can improve or enhance what you're currently doing. The employment law unit is looking at various different aspects of HR that would allow you to as perhaps an HR advisor, allow you to help line managers carry out their duties. So it would be things like advising line managers on how to conduct a disciplinary hearing, understanding the legislation round about unfair dismissal, discrimination legislation, but it does cover quite a broad range of different aspects of employment law. The assessment for employment law is, I think, 6 questions on different aspects of the law, and you're answering those questions. The assignment itself is about 3,900 words, which sounds like a really big assessment, but when you break that down to six different questions, you're not actually writing that much per question. Contemporary developments in employee relations is a similar approach for the assessment as employment law. So again, it would be 6 questions, but you're looking at different aspects of employee relations. So looking at some of the theoretical definitions around about employee relations, what it actually is, looking at how you engage with employees, how you give them a voice, how they're heard. You might look at trade unions, but you're looking at a range of different things within the employment relationship, and as I said, answering a series of 6 questions looking at different aspects of that. Using facilitation skills is the one unit where there's perhaps a little bit of a skills assessment attached, but majority of the time students are gathering the skills evidence from the workplace. So you're producing a portfolio of evidence which is about 3,900 words. There are 4 parts to that assessment. The first 2 parts are a written piece, which is about I would say probably about 2,500 words, and then you're looking for evidence of how you're using facilitation skills perhaps in the workplace. So we're looking for examples of perhaps where you may have chaired a meeting and how you did that. What skills did you use to keep the conversation flowing, make sure someone's not dominating? How did you ensure that the meeting reached agreements, made decisions? But you may also have situations where you're coaching a line manager on how to carry out a disciplinary hearing. So something like that would also you could also be using facilitation skills. So what I'd be looking for in terms of the evidence of that would be a witness statement from someone saying, I sat in on the disciplinary hearing, this is what I saw, here are the skills that I witnessed. And then you would be writing a reflective statement saying how you feel you got on, where you felt you were strong, where perhaps you felt you could improve and do better. But collectively, the written assessment where you're perhaps looking at what is facilitation, what are the different tools and techniques you can use, what are the different theories underpinning facilitation skills, all of that comes together along with the witness statements and the reflective account, and in total that comes to about 3,900 words. In terms of the assessments, it's a pass, or if you don't pass first time, you get what's called a refer. And that means that if you haven't met the standard to pass, then we would sit down with you and identify what needs to be fixed, and you would be given a second chance to address the areas we'd given a refer to. So you get 2 attempts to pass the assessment. There's no grades, it is just have you met the standard, yes or no. Okay, again, any questions about any of the units, about the assessment criteria, about how we mark it, anything like that at all, please don't hesitate to ask during your interview.